You've heard the talk. President Trump calling for annexing Canada as the 51st state. But history tells us a different story. Time and again, Canada has repelled American invasions, proving that any such attempt is doomed to failure. Welcome to In the Know News, where we break down history, finance, self-care, and more to keep you informed. Let's take a trip back in time and see why past efforts to claim Canada have all ended in disaster for the would-be conquerors. Take the War of 1812, when the United States, eager to expand northward, launched multiple incursions into Canadian territory. In July of that year, American forces crossed the Detroit River, occupying Sandwich, now Windsor. But the campaign quickly fell apart as Tecumseh and his First Nations alliance cut off supply lines, forcing the Americans to retreat. Over 2 years of war followed, marked by key battles such as Queenston Heights, the burning of York, now Toronto, and Laura Secor's daring trek through enemy lines to warn the British of an impending attack. In the end, the war concluded with no territorial gains for the U.S. Not a single inch of Canadian soil was annexed. But the invasions didn't stop there. The 1830s saw the so-called Patriot War, a series of unsanctioned American-led attacks aimed at overthrowing British rule in Upper Canada. These groups, expecting local support, found themselves outnumbered and unwelcome. One of the more dramatic moments came when rebels led by William Lyon Mackenzie occupied Navy Island in the Niagara River and declared it the Republic of Canada. Despite attracting hundreds of volunteers, their movement was crushed by British forces. Other incursions followed, including an attack on Windsor, but every attempt ended in defeat. By the 1860s, another wave of American aggressors emerged. The Fenians, a group of Irish-American Civil War veterans, determined to seize Canadian territory as a bargaining chip for Irish independence. In 1866, over 1,000 Fenians crossed the Niagara River and briefly captured Fort Erie, but as Canadian militia and British reinforcements approached, they fled back to Buffalo. Other raids followed, all met with swift Canadian resistance. By 1870, after repeated failures, the Fenian movement collapsed, having achieved nothing but strengthening Canadian unity and hastening Confederation in 1867. Despite these military failures, the idea of annexing Canada never fully disappeared. Throughout the 19th century, American newspapers, politicians, and expansionists pushed the notion, believing in manifest destiny, the idea that the U.S. was meant to dominate North America. Public meetings, petitions, and trade disputes fueled the debate, but Canada remained firmly independent. Ultimately, cooperation, not conquest, defined U.S. Canada relations. Trade agreements such as the Reciprocity Treaty of 1854 and later NAFTA fostered economic partnerships, while joint projects like the Sioux Locks and the St. Lawrence Seaway demonstrated the benefits of working together rather than fighting over borders. So, what does history tell us? It's simple. Attempts to annex Canada have failed every time. President Trump's threats may make headlines, but they don't change the facts. Canada has withstood invasions before, and it would do so again. If there's one lesson to take away, it's that the true path forward for both nations has always been cooperation, not conquest. Thanks for watching In the Know News. Stay informed, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.